So welcome to Magma Cone. This is the counterpart to Fracture Hills. Fracture Hills takes place in the nighttime. Magma Cone takes place in the daytime. Now that I think about it, we were stuck in nighttime for a good long while there between the end of the last episode and a good bit of this one, huh? It's almost like it was Spyro the Eternal Night or something like that.
Hello, Spyro. I suppose you're here for the party. I'm afraid it's been cancelled because the stupid Earth Shapers set off the volcano.
Oh no! They're pulling me back into this hell again! Oh, I don't know where that came from, but yeah, because this is the counterpart to Fracture Hills, we gotta deal with the Earthshapers still. But it's gonna be in a slightly different context. Check the little guy out. So this is a mini Earthshaper. You can actually take care of them with a charge attack. But here's the thing, remember, giant enemies can be flanked, but miniature enemies with metal armor must be charged. What do you do when you have a giant enemy that's resistant to flames? Well, you're gonna have to get creative. Enter the Bonds of Magma Cone. They will help you defeat the Earthshapers, and you won't need to learn a new ability to do so. That's a good thing. Did that guy just T-pose for a split second before he got put out of commission? Or is that just me? If it was a T-pose, that was a pretty funny time to get a T-pose, huh? Whoop! Ah, too slow. You gotta throw a better fastball than that to catch... Oh wait, we're playing Spyro the Dragon, not Sonic the Hedgehog. Still though, Spyro can get pretty fast if you mess with the horns. And believe me, some people, they mess with the horns a little too much. But, you know, Magma Cone's another really good, really solid level here in Spyro 2. Another great music track that some people will argue the original music is better than this one because there's like a voice effect where somebody goes no, and they took that out for the reignited version for some reason. I don't consider that enough of a deal breaker. I think the song is still great for other reasons, but it's probably worth mentioning anyway for the purists out there. This is one of those times where I actually don't understand the logic, though. But this is a pretty good time to bring up the fact that if you go to the sound, you can change between original and reignited music. Matter of fact, why don't we keep it on the original music for the remainder of Magma Cone? For the purists out there. Good luck listening to the music over my commentary, though. Well, I guess maybe I'll go silent, and maybe you'll be able to hear it when I go silent, but I can't promise that I'm going to go silent anytime soon, because this is a pretty funky level. A lot to say, and we haven't even gotten to one of the more infamous parts. It involves a mission in this level that some people take issue with, and that's okay. This firework base is pretty tough to nail, but it gives you more than one gem. That's pretty cool. Right, so let's continue on the main path because I want to see the creative ways that the fawns, are they still called fawns if they're male? Aren't these guys satyrs because they're male? I'm not sure how that works. Comment section, this is where you would shine. A wrecking ball. Nice touch. So that's pretty nice. Alright. Get some more gems over here. Keep an eye out. Remember, gotta use that handy-dandy Sparks treasure finder. Not that Magma Cone is a particularly large level. It is a good bit larger than Fracture Hills, though. A lot of vertical movement involved, too. Alright. This might be the last Earthshaper for this area, but I think there might be one or two more after this guy. Bait him out from the hammer so he doesn't get you with it. Whoa! Too slow. Jackhammer. That's an even nicer touch than the dang wrecking ball. Good lord. Okay, we still got some gems all the way over there. Well, I was gonna have to backtrack anyway, but let's see. Maybe if I climb up here, it might give me a better vantage point to glide to that area that has the gems. We also need to go inside the tower for some business. Alright. I don't think this glide's gonna cut it. Dang, dude. Alright, well, I guess you're gonna have to, go around here. Actually, getting the gems and getting to the next mission might actually work out pretty well. We're gonna go around here, green and purple, lovely color combination as always. Some wicker baskets. Remember in Scorch when that one enemy destroyed that wicker basket? That was a cool enemy. We need to see more of them and less of Earth Shapers. Alright, the bases. Wait a minute. Okay. Nothing there. Another firework base. Dude, this snail looks so chill. And I'm glad I'm at full health, because I really don't want to break that guy's chill. Look at this, look at this. Look at this. Let's leave him alone. Anyways, now, I think you can see the entrance. We're gonna have to try and get over there somehow. That is where the infamous mission of Magma Cone resides. How are we gonna do this? I'm gonna say what I want to do is get over here, down. For some reason, to get down from a ladder, you have to be, like, at the very bottom. It's weird. Right over here. And, oh, the ladder climbing is also much slower in Reignited than it was in the original. Probably should have mentioned that a while ago, but you're going to be doing a lot more climbing in these later Autumn Plains levels, so now is just an appropriate time as any to mention it. Ooh, nice little crystal cave here, and look, Hunter's over there, and he has 2 orbs to give us. That's a good thing, but...
Hey, Spyro, check out this cool cave I found. Let's play a little game. Every so often, a piece of this crystal popcorn pops out of the ground. The first one to grab 10 of them wins. I'm ready when you are.
So why does this game remind me so much of the minigame in Bubble Gloop Swamp in Banjo-Kazooie with Mr. Vile? Is it because that you're competing with someone to collect a certain amount of objects before the other one? Maybe. And the fact that these are both 3D platformers that were released like within a year of each other? Maybe. Yeah. But anyway, Crystal Popcorn with Hunter, this can be difficult. Not so much the first round, so this is kind of like the Lava Lizards where the difficulty really doesn't start to heat up until round 2. But I feel like it was nerfed in Reignited. Maybe it's just me, but it's not as hard as it was.
Okay, you win. Here's an orb. I'll give you another orb if you can beat me again. Let's play to 15 this time. What do you say? I'm ready when you are.
Alright, so now we got 5 more crystals to get compared to the last time. And is longer. And Hunter's AI is somewhat better. Wait, how did he get 2 points out of nowhere? What did he just hit? 0? In the PS4 and Xbox One version, you get a trophy for stealing a crystal popcorn from Hunter. I think that would count. Actually, I think that would count too. You want to steal from him anyway, because if you don't, it's very easy for him to get ahead of you if you're slow on the ball or otherwise. That's why some people will struggle with this mission. But sometimes you can get lucky with the spawn rates, like I seem to be getting. And sometimes he won't grab the crystal popcorn right away. Sometimes that happens. Wait. I think that last one counted for him. No, it didn't look like it should have counted. Alright, that counted properly. Whoa, that one counted for him. Alright. I find this challenge kind of fun, honestly, but it is so disappointing when you're like going through the long game and you're close to 15 and then Hunter out of nowhere catches up and you have to do the whole thing all over again. That can be pretty annoying, but I got some pretty good luck.
You're really good. I'm gonna have to come up with some harder games. For now, I'll take this orb. I guess you earned it.
So while I will concede that this is one of the tougher missions in Spyro 2, and I can see why a lot of people would struggle with it, it's not really one that I've ever struggled with too much. I think maybe the first time I played Spyro 2, that took me maybe 3 or 4 tries, you know? The second round, not the first round. First round, I washed my hands with the first round. The second round, though, that maybe makes me want to use soap or something like that. If you know what I'm saying. So now we can progress to the main pathway of Magma Cone. Hey, it let me drop down that time. And, oh no.
it isn't my best customer. The elevator in the next room can take you to the volcano. You can have unlimited use of the elevator for a one-time fee of only a few gems.
Oh, it's only 200 gems, and we have almost 4,000 gems. Well...
Okay, I'll be here if you change your mind.
No clever dialogue that time. What a shame.
It's a pleasure doing business with you. Simply step onto the elevator, and it will take you to the bottom. When you want to come back up, just step on it again.
One-time payment. Thankfully. There are a bunch of extra life butterfly bottles over there. You can get them if you want. I think I'm good though. Let's see. Yeah. 32 lives. Oh, there's also one over here. So, you know. Any gems I might be missing? I doubt it. Alright. Let's head down the elevator to get these gems. For the second half of Magma Cone, where we must climb to the top of a volcano. And there's another orb challenge that I consider to be more annoying than the Hunter Popcorn mission, but I don't see too many people online complaining about, surprisingly. So we're not gonna beat around the bush. We're just gonna go straight to the top of the volcano because we need to activate a power portal to get all this miscellaneous stuff you're probably catching in the corner of your eye while you're watching me play through the game. We're gonna get that as soon as I get to the top of the volcano, alright? Be mindful and attentive of the volcano rock spawn rates. They tend to alternate. Emphasis on tend to.
Thanks for closing the lid on the volcano, Spyro. Things were getting a little too hot around here. By the way, here's a talisman I was saving for the party later. I think you deserve it more.
So, out of the 8 levels in Autumn Plains, 3 of these levels involve heat, one way or the other. Dang. You would think this would be more fitting in the Summer Forest, because, you know, fall is usually somewhere between cold and hot, not all the way hot like that. And then the only ice level so far, or cold level, was Crystal Glacier? That doesn't seem right.
Hey, Spyro! You're just in time for the party. Well, you would be if those nasty lava monsters hadn't stolen our hats. It just won't be the same without party hats.
So this is the mission that I consider to be more annoying than Hunter's Popcorn. There's only one round of this, which helps, but these monsters are really annoying because you can only defeat them with rocks that you have to catch in midair. Well, for the most part, in midair. Like that, and then spit, and then yeah. Plus, you gotta deal with the collision, fall into the ground, all that stuff. And I mean, a lot of times when they hit you, it doesn't feel right, man. It feels like they get lucky with the hits, if that makes any sense. And yeah, that can be pretty annoying. I've gotten more irritated with this mission than the Hunter Popcorn mission, which I feel is much more chill by comparison. And having to constantly go back to the portal to refill your Superfly is kind of a pain too. Especially when you can't find it, like I almost couldn't find it there. It lasts a while, and it's possible that Toys for Bob may have increased the time limit for it, which is nice. And sometimes you'll miss the shot, too. Alright. Alright. So let's maybe get the ones in the tunnel over here. There we go. There's so many of these guys, too. Why is there 12? Yeah, this is a pretty annoying mission. You can't kill them. Alright, you can't kill them with fire because they're lava monsters. But shooting lava rocks, that's like totally kosher. Alright. Don't forget to get the balloons. Thankfully, those you can just flame and you'll knock them down fairly easily. But there's quite a few balloons here. It's almost like there was a party that was supposed to happen or something. Maybe? And that's why we're trying to rescue the party hats, as it were. But, you know, there's another balloon there. You can get fairly close to the monsters before they shoot or fire their noisemakers. Pretty sure that's what they're called. Yeah. that rock. Oh, I think that might have been a headshot. Alright. I would say start going back to the Superfly portal to refill yourself when you're like at the last third. That way you risk... oh, God dang it. See, that's what I'm talking about. Actually, I guess the Noisemaker doesn't actually do damage, but it'll stun you, and then you fall into the lava, and then you take damage. That's no fun, man. Knock him out. I think the last two are in that area, so... This isn't the worst run I've ever had, but this could probably be better. Alright. Better thing to do is probably to recalculate myself here, and... Ooh, that one landed at his feet, and it still counted. I'm glad. Very glad about... Where's the freaking rock? It's supposed to spawn there. What? You were supposed to grab it, Spyro? Jesus, man. Come on. One more time. Alright.
Thanks, Spyro. You saved the party. Here, this got mixed in with the cheese balls, and I almost chipped a tooth on it.
God bless you, Bagpipes. Alright. We don't have to do that shtick anymore, thankfully. 42 orbs. A solid amount of orbs, I'm not gonna lie. But now we gotta do gem cleanup, and I gotta flame the chill snails for some butterflies and health. Gosh darn it. Those darn lava monsters that have zero chill, period. Oh, so that actually makes sense. Right, where's another snail? I'm not leaving until I get another snail. There we go. Is that the same spot? Might have been. Come on, Sparks. Keep feeding. I would just pause and exit the level, but the exit portal is like right here somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. So we're just gonna leave the proper way for once, huh? Ready to chill out with another speedway? So soon after Metro? Well, Autumn Plains has 2 speedways, so may as well knock them both out. And you get a trophy/achievement for knocking out the snowmobiles before the hang gliders. Which is weird because, yeah, this is just completely unsettling to me now. And 2 of them wound up so close to one another. Icy Speedway, I'd say, is a lot more difficult to get the time limit skill point on compared to Metro Speedway. That might be the easiest one besides the Speedway that's in the next homeworld. So, yeah, if I don't get the skill point, it's whatever. At least I showed off how to get that sneaky trophy/achievement, right? Maybe it's not so sneaky, because usually people want to get the hang gliders first, and you know, maybe they want to switch it up one of those days. For the last half of Icy Speedway, you want to take care of the Loch Ness monsters and the figure skaters all consecutively, believe it or not, because they're found pretty close to one another, actually. But because you're taking care of all of these at once, you've got to worry about 16 objects rather than just 8. What happened there? The hit detection. Come on, man. Alright. Definitely not getting the time limit now. Bing, 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 and you want to do something like that to get the skill point. But try and do that approximately, we'll say 16 seconds faster than what I did. For the secret mission, though, well, that's a lot easier.
Good job, Spyro. Looks like you're ready for a more serious challenge. How about a little paragliding? You're not afraid of heights, are you? Great! I'll tow you behind my snowmobile, and you maneuver through the rings. Don't miss any or we'll have to start over.
Are you ready to fly through rings again? Just like an ocean speedway? Well, not exactly like it. Hunter will take care of the driving, you take care of the paragliding, aim for the rings, and, well, you should be golden. This mission goes on for a little while, but this is a lot easier than the Metro Speedway mission and the Ocean Speedway mission. It can trip you up towards the end, though. You're going to be doing a lot more alternating between the rings, as it were. So, and it goes on for a little while, because there's like 50 rings. It's not as fast-paced as you would think, with Hunter driving a jet ski, actually, since you're on the water. But yeah, the timing for having to switch back and forth can be really tight towards the end here. So if you fail a couple times, it'd be because of that.
Way to go, Spyro. You're even better than I am.
Alright, that takes care of Icy Speedway. I'll meet you back in Shady Oasis. So welcome to the long-lost cousin of Scorch. Actually, this is the inside of the palace, whereas Scorch was the outside in the desert. So thankfully, you're not going to see as much desert Shady Oasis. Matter of fact, we're not going to see that much of Shady Oasis in general, because this area, you need the ability from the next homeworld in order to 100%. So that means off-screen backtracking. For now, though...
Spyro, it's a good thing you're here. I've been trying to get a berry out of this magic berry bush, but I'm just not strong enough. If you charge or flame the bush, one of those yummy berries should drop.
I think we'll opt for the flame. There we go. But yeah, Shady Oasis is a nice, fun, shorter level where all of the hippos, when they eat special fruit, they will grow in size for some reason. They must have some magical properties or something. We also have these Arabian-looking enemies that remind me of the thieves from the original Spyro. And there's actually a mission here that brings back the thieves in a pretty surprising way. I don't think I'm going to show it off, because I don't think we're going to have time for it this episode, sadly. And I'm going to be doing the backtracking off screen, but it is a solid mission, and I do recommend you track it down and do it. I mean, you need to, in order to get 100%. You may not need to do it to reach Dragon Shores, though. I'm going to do it, but off screen. We will try and get these gems, though, just for the heck of it. Over here, some gems down there. Actually, maybe I will show off that mission. Maybe we do have enough time for that. Because like I said, Shady Oasis is really small, really short. Isn't it great how pretty much every level that requires backtracking is usually a small level? But still, why have the backtracking if it's really not going to be necessary? That's what I don't understand. But hey, it is what it is, you know. If you're just doing any percent, though, I'm not sure if you have to do backtracking to get to Dragon Shores. I was going to try and optimize a route like that for this Let's Play, but I just wound up settling on something a lot simpler to follow, in my opinion. I think a lot more people will like that sort of thing. I feel. That hippo stuck on that enemy, seriously. Get the fruit. Get the fruit. Right. Good hippo, even though you ate that rather slowly, honestly. Charge into the guy using the shield and then flame him afterwards. Pretty simple. Pretty interesting, yet they brought back the thieves in an Arabian context, because in the original, they were dressed in robes that was kind of like Arabian fashion, I think. Well, they have the faces shrouded in shadow, like these guys, so. But these guys look visually distinct. And the fodder are peacocks, which is, interesting, I guess. Whoa! Flame that guy. That was a delayed reaction on my part. Yeah, this is just kind of a slower level, honestly. And then we have the female genie-like thieves that throw magic balls at you. Maybe they have something to do with the magic fruit. Maybe not, yeah? Hard to say. Why does the hippos keep getting stuck on the enemies? Come on, man. Reignite it, come on. You're dropping the ball here. I mean, it kind of justifies it, though, because you don't want them to get too far ahead of you, right? Take care of that guy, get these gems. There's some rocks you can get to shoot. Actually, I think we need this for the next tree. Possibly. Darn it. You get one. Alright, come on, man. Come on. Wait, why doesn't the charge work on the enemy? There we go. Dang, dude, I didn't want to waste my rock. Alright. Let's take care of this thief. Break his shield. And you can then kill him with a charge after that. So that's pretty handy dandy, I would say. These gems, just... we have over 4,000. You have enough to pay money bags for the rest of the stuff he demands, I assure you. Actually, I think the next ability he teaches you might come at a premium price, now that I'm thinking about it. Hey! Don't be so rude and push me away. Thankfully, it doesn't count as damage. Could you imagine?
Thanks for helping me reach the Great Berry Bush. Now we can eat berries all the time. Here, take this. It's a gift from all of us hippos.
Alright, so the talisman for Shady Oasis is just a magic lamp. That's cool. So what else do we have in this little area? We have gems, a mystery vase. I think we've seen enough of these throughout the Let's Play, so I will save you for the off-screen backtracking. And I accidentally pushed the flame button, so okay. But I do want to show off this mission.
Spyro, 3 thieves have stolen our magical brass lamps. Please get the lamps before they take them away from Shady Oasis.
This does take me back to the Spyro 1 days of chasing down egg thieves and reclaiming the lost eggs. You probably don't ever have to touch this mission if all you want to do is reach Dragon Shores, but why don't we just inject a little bit of Spyro 1 nostalgia for this Let's Play? Because, well, this is part of a larger Let's Play series for the Reignited Trilogy, so it makes sense to do this. This guy, though, I'm going to try and see. And it didn't work out, but it can work out. These thieves are just as hard. Oh, come on, that's just unfair. But yeah, these thieves can be just as hard as the ones in Spyro 1 to chase down. Maybe even a little bit harder in some ways, because of the particular paths that are accessible for you. Yeah. Gotta watch out for that green water. I'm starting to think it might not be water, considering how hazardous it is. Very easy to fall into as well. And you can also multitask and get gems while you're doing the thief chases. Dude, that guy, whoa, that guy has like no chill. Wow, alright. I mean, I'll take it. That was kind of weird. Get some peacock meat in us, alright? The next thief should not be very far off. Oh, he was right under the freaking exit portal. Are you serious? Alright, well, there's also a thief inside one of the corridors. Let's keep going forward. We may even knock out the other thief before we get to the thief that I should have gotten first. I think he's in here. I think he's in here? Yep, there he is. Alright, wise guy. Do use the D-pad to make sharper turns with the charge. And don't be afraid to spam the charge button to readjust yourself as well. Oh boy. This guy is giving me a pretty good fight though. Got him! Alright. That didn't take too terribly long. Oh lord. Let's go back and get that button. Just as a safety buffer. No other particular reason. Alright, let's keep going forward. We're gonna get that last thief below the exit portal. We won't need to take the exit portal directly, because once you get the last thief, you'll be warped back to where the hippo was. Ooh, extra life bottle. I'll take that, just for the heck of it. Oh, and there's the mystery vase. And fireworks. May as well flame the firework and get the mystery vase, I suppose. Oh, we were just there! Alrighty then. Let's get the fireworks here, and, actually, I think the mystery vase is over there. Funny how this is working out. I guess I get to show off a little more of Shady Oasis than I originally planned, but that's fine. Shady Oasis is a solid level. Backtracking being here is annoying, of course, but it isn't the worst backtracking in the world. That's just, like one metal chest and one orb mission, I think, is all you really need to worry about. This mystery vase is probably one of the most easygoing mystery vases in the game. Think about it. And now we head back to the beginning of the level right here, and here we go. Knock out the mystery vase on screen, why not? I will jump cut back to where the thief is. My prey has been spotted, and he's darting back and forth for some reason. Alright, now he's making some sort of movement. Alright, Come on. Gonna get you! Ooh, boy. Ooh, that was a close call right there.
Thanks for bringing back the 3 magic lamps. Here, take this orb. Some fairy left it with me, but it won't hold a proper shine.
Oh, that's a shame. We'll just take it off your hands, and don't worry. We don't require it to shine. 44 orbs. 11 more, and we can reach Dragon Shores. That almost rhymed. Alright, we're gonna head back to Autumn Plains because now the boss door is gonna be unlocked. Let's see what happens there.
Huh? Huh? Hmm. Huh?
Well done, Spyro. Now that you have all 14 talismans, your guidebook can break the lock on the door, and you can fight Gulp. Are you ready? You'll have to jump down the hole in the floor to get to where Ripto and Gulp are waiting. I can help you out a little bit. I tamed some pterodactyls from Skylos Badlands. They'll be dropping in objects that you can use to fight Gulp.
Well, it's good to know that Alora will once again help us in the next boss fight.
Go. We finally made Avalar ours. You've earned a special reward. Go. What is it, boy? Oh, the fairy. Here you go. Oh! You singed my cape! Dragon, you are really starting to get on my nerves! Say goodbye, flame breath! Don't! Lunchtime!
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Spyro Reignited Trilogy. And oh boy, we are in the thick of it because we're fighting Gulp. Reignited Gulp, who has gotten quite the difficulty buff from the original game. Which is saying a lot because he wasn't an easy boss in the original either, but he's even harder this time around. He's sporting a lot more health than his buddy Crush, and, well, he's got a lot more of a variety of attacks too. So, here's the situation. As Alora mentioned in the last episode before the boss fight begins, she's trained a bunch of pterodactyls from Skylos Badlands to drop various different items to help you out during the fight, as well as chickens that serve as fodder. I don't know if the chickens that spawn here will actually produce extra life butterflies, or if you're unfortunately limited to just regular butterflies. After the first hit or two, Gulp will do less body slams and more laser blasts, as it were, but seemingly only 2 at a time, at least at first. It is worth mentioning at this point in the boss fight that there are actually 2 skill points in this fight, unlike the Crush fight. There's the one for defeating Gulp without getting hit. I don't recommend doing this on the first pass. It is possible, but quite difficult. The other skill point, on the other hand, you get by shooting a missile or any other projectile at Ripto. You could also do this when you go for the perfect skill point, likely in post-game, believe it or not. Alright, now, if you take your time, Gulp isn't too bad to defeat normally. But that skill point, defeating him without getting hit, very tough to do, especially in Reignited. His attacks seem to home in better on Spyro, in Reignited anyway. But thankfully, if you aim your projectiles well, and again, take your time when you do this, you'll usually get the hit. And if you're running away from him when he's chasing you for a body slam, if you hold the charge button and don't let go for the love of God, you'll usually do pretty well. And thankfully, Gulp will usually take the hits. You know, sometimes. So, yeah, this fight can definitely be tough. I also recommend when Gulp starts shooting the Orbs of Doom, run one way, and after he shoots a projectile, go back and charge the other way as soon as you can. That's a situation where the analog stick would probably work better than the D-pad. Just a safe assumption to make. And yeah, the farther Gulp is away from you, the more difficult it will be to land your target. Not impossible, but yeah, definitely harder. But sometimes you have to look at the pros and cons of each situation. It'll be harder to land your target, but it will be more likely that you'll avoid his attacks since they'll be in the air longer and, well, you can anticipate their movement a lot better. But, yeah, Gulp has always been a pretty decent difficulty spike over his buddy Grush. And that's especially true in Reignited. And yeah, I was running away from the holding charge, and I still got hit with the body slam. So it's possible that the body slam actually gets more accurate as the fight goes on. Sad to say. And when you hit him, if there are any other projectiles on the arena, they will automatically be destroyed after you hit him because he'll do a body slam of panic in response. And yeah, that ain't good when that happens. Please get the chicken. Oh god. This situation's getting bad. It's also possible that if you're too close to him when you try to throw a projectile on him, it doesn't really matter what the projectile is, but it'll usually be a metal barrel. The explosion radius could actually recoil against you, like a double-edged sword, if you will. Wow, that body slam was just something else. But thankfully, there was a chicken there for the clutch. Okay, this might be it. Oh, no, it's another chicken. Well, I'll take that too, because I really don't want to have to redo this boss fight for the Let's Play. So, I'll take that hit, get another chicken. Wow, the chicken spam is on point, but I get the feeling the chickens are taking the place of a projectile I need. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Wait a stinking second here. This could be it. This could be it. Chill. What? What? How did that not count? Ah, frick, man. Wait. Wait, what? What just happened? I'll take it.
Spyro, you did it!
Whoa! Laura, where'd you come from?
I was just outside the castle in Autumn Plains. The castle is now free again. There's no sign of Ripto. And since you've been around, the creatures of Avalar are finally starting to get along. Since you've done so much for Avalar, and since I know you've really missed being on vacation, we really wanted to do something nice for you. It's not much, but we hope you like it.
Oh, wow, this is great. Aren't you gonna join me?
No. I'd like to, but I've got to go check on the professor in the winter tundra. He's still trying to fix the super portal so we can send you home.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I think I'll just hang out here for a while and soak up a few rays. Uh-huh. Hey, where'd Laura go? I better follow her.
I think I've finally come up with a way to access the Dragon Worlds from the Super Portal. This power crystal should give us the extra boost that we need. Just a few more calculations to set it up. I think I have it. Excellent. Everything is finally ready. We're going to need a lot more orbs, but with the power crystal boosting it, the Super Portal should work again.
So, you thought you had gotten rid of me. Well, I'm afraid not. I persuaded that fat bear Moneybags to sell me a few bombs.
Quick, the power crystal!
Don't even try it, book boy, or you'll be the world's smartest pile of ashes. This is just what I need for a new scepter.
Hunter, do something, quick!
Hey, give that back! Well, I tried.
You little fools! After I destroy you all with my new scepter, I'm going to rename this place Riptonia!
Well, that's quite the mess we're in.
Spyro, Ripto's still alive, and he's locked us out of the castle. Even worse, he's stolen our new power crystal for the super portal. Spyro, keep collecting those orbs. We can't send you to Dragon Shores until you have enough. Not only will the orbs help power the super portal, but they'll help you break into the castle.
So welcome to Winter Tundra. As you may figure it out, this is the final homeworld in Spyro 2. What? Wait, Lazuli, you might be thinking. How is this the last homeworld? We've had Summer Forest, Autumn Plains. By the way, autumn is an uncommon synonym for fall. You know, that season that comes after summer but before winter. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Anyway, we've had Summer Forest, Autumn Plains, and now Winter Tundra. We're missing a season, is what you're thinking. There is no fourth homeworld. There is no spring homeworld. For some reason, there never was one in the original game, and as far as anybody can tell, it was never even planned for this game to have 4 homeworlds. If it was, there isn't really a lot of clues for it, other than the fact it's just missing. But anyway, we need to talk to Moneybags to acquire our final new ability of the game. And from what I remember, it won't be cheap.
Well, Spyro, it comes down to this. There's only one more thing I can teach you. And like all the best things, it doesn't come cheap.
Oh, I told you, it ain't gonna be cheap. But this one might actually be more worth the price than you think at first.
The head bash move is very simple, really. All you must do is jump and then press the action button.
So yeah, the head bash is very similar to the ground pound move that is in a lot of 3D platformers. Instead of Spyro charging along on the ground, now he's thinking in a different way. He's using his head in a different way. Not just in terms of thinking, but in terms of application as well. Which is very interesting to say. So yeah, as far as we know, there was never a 4th homeworld themed around spring, but when we get to Spyro 3, there might be a slight nod to that. But we'll have to wait and see for that. As for Winter Tundra, though, well, you may have seen a level portal earlier that leads to a level called Mystic Marsh. Keep that in mind. We're going to show off another level portal here in a minute. I think you need like 20-something orbs to activate this one.
Well, it's some consolation that you've collected so many orbs. My high-tech portal here will take you to Cloud Temples.
That's right, Cloud Temples. I believe we'll be doing this one towards the end of this episode since we haven't really elapsed that much time so far. For as good as the boss fights are in Spyro 2, if you do them the first try, they're usually over within 5 or so minutes. Anyway, but yeah, that's Cloud Temples. That's going to be the first level we'll be doing in Winter Tundra. And then there's Mystic Marsh over there, and you might be thinking, well, that would make a good candidate for the second level, right? You may want to set your expectations accordingly, my esteemed viewer or viewers. Yeah, my esteemed viewers. I mean, it's possible multiple people will be watching this video at the same time. I never even thought about that kind of thing. That multiple people can watch a video at the same time across the world without even realizing it. Isn't the internet wonderful? At any rate, though, Winter Tundra, aesthetically and musically, is probably my favorite homeworld. But the other ones come pretty close. I mean, you can't fault Autumn Plains for that epic live, man. And the music for all of these is so blissful and atmospheric, and ooh, there's a shiny orb up there. But before we get that orb, we have one last Speedway adventure to unlock. We're not going to do it right now, but we're going to unlock it.
One last Speedway adventure for you, Spyro. It's not that expensive, you know. You've chosen wisely. I bet a quick dragon like you will win your money back in no time.
Seems like that last bit of dialogue was reused from the Icy Speedway situation. It even cost the same as Icy Speedway. Pretty sure Canyon Speedway is a little easier, though. So we've shown off 2 level portals and the Speedway. You can do all that, for the most part, without the head bash. So, if you get all of the gems from Cloud Temples, Mystic Marsh, and the Speedway, minus the 200 you have to pay to unlock the Speedway, you will have exactly 1,000 gems. Isn't that something? And now that we have the head bash, you can backtrack to Fracture Hills and Shady Oasis in Autumn Plains and 100% both of those levels. Once I'm done getting all this stuff here in Winter Tundra, we will be backtracking to Autumn Plains. I will be doing Shady Oasis off screen, but Fractured Hills is going to get the full spotlight for the next backtracking like Sunny Beach did because of the Portals mission. Well, Fractured Hills has the Alchemist mission, as I'm sure you already know. Oh, here's the level portal to my favorite level in Spyro 2. If Cloud Temples was 20-something orbs, this is probably 20-something, give or take about maybe 5.
I can see you've learned the value of orbs, Spyro. This touchy gate should work perfectly with the help of your impressive orb collection.
Yes, indeed. Ah, Metropolis. Funnily enough, since this was originally made by Insomniac, who would go on to make the Ratchet & Clank series, there's a planet in Ratchet & Clank called Metropolis that usually is in every game almost. It's a pretty prominent location with a lot of important set pieces. Yet, here in Spyro 2, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, every single level here is optional if you just want to go straight for Ripto. Matter of fact, why don't we go over to where Ripto is supposedly hiding? By the way, while there is a whirlwind shortcut you can take over there to get to the top of the stairs, there's all these gems littering about, so you may have to use the stairs at least once. Yeah, I know. Always use the elevator over the stairs, but let me tell you, walking up and down stairs a lot is pretty great cardio in a pinch. Keep that in mind.
Alright, Spyro. Now that you've got the orbs, Ripto's demise is only moments away, right? Right? Well, anyway, good luck. He's right through this door.
Alright, and there's even a few gems littering around here. Let's be careful not to accidentally trigger the fight ahead of time. Come on, Sparks. Thank you. Yeah, we just did gold at the start of this episode. It would be really weird to go straight to Ripto. I mean, if you're playing along, esteemed viewers, go right ahead, but we've still got a little bit more to go if we want to reach Dragon Shores, which is the ultimate goal of this Let's Play, and I'll be doing that reminder for one last time because, well, I think it's time to rip the Band-Aid off now that we're coming to the end of the Winter Tundra collection. Oh yeah, I just got all the gems there. There's one more orb, very tricky to get to. And yeah, I need to try and remember how to get to that last orb that's above the waterfall near Canyon Speedway. I'm surprised I got all the gems that quickly, though. I thought it would take a little longer for the gems. I think it's around here, yeah. Oh man, that was a pretty epic dive there, wasn't it? Alright, yeah, let's dive through and get to the top. And here's a somewhat hidden orb. And that should be the last one. I think. Wait for the message. Wait for the notification message. Dang it. Alright, all orbs, all gems, 100% Winter Tundra. Maybe just a little slower than what I usually do. That's fine. Oh, there's one more level portal I don't think I got to show off. It's all the way over here. Nice little level called Robotica Farms. It's a farm full of robots. And that's about all I have to say about that, because before we backtrack to Fractured Hills and Shady Oasis off-screen, to Autumn Plains, I have some news to share about the rest of this Let's Play. I'm sure some of you won't like it. Most of you will probably be okay with this, but I don't want to wait until later in this episode, or potentially the next episode, to rip the Band-Aid off. For Winter Tundra, you don't need to do every single level to get enough stuff to reach Dragon Shores. By running the statistics around, and let's pull up the guidebook for this. You can see on the top left, we have 7,960 gems out of 10,000. Thankfully, in Reignited, it keeps track of your gem count even with all the gems you spent on money bags. You're probably wondering, are you going to get that money back if it's keeping that kind of tally? You'll have to wait and see. We have 47 orbs out of the 55 that we need to reach Dragon Shores. You need 8,000 gems and 55 orbs. Okay? I hope you're following along here. Now, the backtracking that you have to do for Summer Forest and Autumn Plains combined roughly would equal the statistics of a single level in Winter Tundra. In Winter Tundra, none of the 4 main levels have a talisman to collect. By the time you reach Gulp, you will have collected all 14 talismans in the world of Avalar. This means that by the time you reach Ripto, if you've been diligent in collecting orbs and just enough gems to pay off money bags, which if you're going for all the talismans, you are sure to have enough gems to do that, even if you don't always go out of your way. You will have enough orbs to just move on straight to Ripto right after Gulp. All you need is the head bash, really, because you have to get through that door. But depending on whether you do the backtracking or not, it means you could potentially skip, I think, as many as 3 levels in Winter Tundra. At least 3. But if you do the backtracking, like I've been doing so far, you can skip 2. Wait, hold on. It should be the other way around, right? Well, basically what I'm saying is, depending on how you go about the progression of your collecting, you can skip levels in Winter Tundra and still reach Dragon Shores and do everything there is to show off, except for one teeny tiny little thing that I can just mention in dialogue and commentary. So, there it is. That's something I've kind of been building up to, and doing stuff off screen or even just ignoring levels. While I can't ignore any levels in Spyro 3 when we get to that Let's Play because you need 100% to see everything there is to see, unlike Spyro 2, doing stuff off screen like I've been doing, like with the backtracking to Glimmer earlier in the Let's Play, and the backtracking to Shady Oasis, I'm choosing not to show on screen because it's not very interesting and I don't really have a lot of commentary to add for those that wasn't already covered during the first visits to those. But some backtracking missions I feel are worth showing off with commentary for various reasons. Hopefully that all makes sense to you, and I'm glad I can finally get that out of the way. Welcome back to Fracture Heals! Yeah, we're not doing that again. So you don't have to do any of the main story progression in Fracture Hills all over again if you don't want to. You don't need to kill any enemies for the supercharge if you already took care of the skill point and the other stuff relating to the supercharge. That's pretty cool. You can stand on this arch and give yourself a little bit of a glide, I guess. For all that's worth. But alright, Hunter, you've got 2 orbs for us, and oh, let me tell you, look at the percentage for Fracture Hills. 73%. God, a quarter of the percentage comes from just those 2 orbs, more or less. At any rate, before we deal with Hunter, we gotta deal with the Alchemist. Oh boy. Well, with the Alchemist, this is kind of an escort mission. Escort missions are infamous for not being very fun, regardless of the type of game it's in.
I've been experimenting with a new potion. I'd like to try it out, but the Earth Shapers have made going out a bit difficult. Could you kindly offer me an escort? Great! Just keep those Earth Shapers away from me, and I'll take this potion to Hunter.
So, to protect the Alchemist, you will need to charge against the Earth Shapers to make sure that their pickaxes don't connect with the Alchemist. When you charge into an Earth Shaper, you get like, I want to say half a second where they won't do anything. But, yeah, there's going to be some trial and error here, for sure, because, I mean, you can't really predict the Alchemist's path right away. That was a close call. I'm going to get this Earth Shaper just in case, and then there's this wise guy over here. It's not a terribly long escort mission, but if you're not careful, you know, the Alchemist gets too close to Earth Shaper, you may not have enough of a reaction time, and he'll backtrack here. I think they give you a little more time in here. Reignite it though. Hey! Okay, hit me, not the Alchemist. Thank God. Wow, that was actually pretty quick. Suspiciously quick, even.
Man, do my feet feel better. Would you look after this for me?
Gladly, we will look after this orb for you, Hunter.
As long as you're here, would you like to help me take out these stubborn Earth Shapers?
Oh yes, we would like to kick some Earth Shaper butt. Oh, I'm sorry, Earth Shaper.
All right. When I shoot an Earth Shaper with an arrow, you head bash him before he gets back up. Remember, head bash by jumping and then pressing the action button.
I have no idea why they made it so you could do the first half of this mission without the head bash, but then of course you need the head bash in order to finish it. That doesn't seem like the best mission design. But then again, this was the first Spyro game that Insomniac worked on that actually had missions or objectives like this, you know, so I guess we can cut them a little bit of slack in that regard, perhaps, but yeah, when Hunter shoots an arrow at an Earth Shaper, the window of time you have to actually knock out the Earth Shaper is not as long as you would think. So, you know, do hurry up as fast as you can. Nice shot, Hunter. This should be the last one, actually.
We make a great team. Here, I was gonna give this to the Alchemist, but I'm a bit annoyed at him at the moment.
Understandably so, but I have to say, I think that might have been the smoothest Alchemist run I've ever had. That seems suspicious. Maybe they nerfed it and reignited? Well, I'm sure the comments section will, you know, elaborate on that with your experiences and testimonies regarding the Alchemist here in Reignited versus how he was in the original. But, I mean, it is the kind of mission that gets easier the more that you do it, obviously. It's a super trial and error type of mission, so. But yeah, that 100% completes Fractions, and hopefully we won't have to bring up my terrible Irish/Scottish accent ever again in the Spyro Let's Play series. Maybe. And since we didn't collect the talisman, you won't have to rewatch the end cutscene as we leave Fracture Hills, and on screen we'll be heading back to Winter Tundra straight to Cloud Temples. So it's going to be from here straight to Cloud Temples, alright?